Chairman Wontumi High Court omo granted permission to negotiate with Attorney General plea bargaining koso just a High Court granted permission. Then that's sorry there is matters arising ewo ho abusu ayen so ba be dwam wa ha de amamona Chairman Wontumi ni plea bargain 30 million Ghana cedis Exim Bank fraud na just okoye for jail receipt or de koye frakadam Exim Bank ko je sika no Chairman Wontumi Farms and I say Wontumi Farms Limited. Sana company we ukrano existe we asana ene yenya ntia ya order President Mahama say it is a plea bargaining act no say ye abolition. According to Addo Bokman or say ye abolish a plea bargaining act because politicians no omonim say sa act we ewo ye constitution mo. And I say, ye mbrani mo, intino, omunya ye pe, omuluti, omani sika, after that, no mapa, say, omo babe negotiate. And if say, ya abolish krampa, yema omu who say, ye say, ene woho, say, oba for plea bargaining, say, if say, oko 10 years, ye bebe, so aba from nature, say, wako 5 years, and I say 6 years. Addo Bokman, edin sembebre, edi atuja, mami yankona, yankonkuti, and sama ekoso. If a chairman Wontumi ni plea bargain court no are granting permission and the abolishment of a plea bargaining act it is a babe abolition. Me akona yen konkuti and some course na answer na be kono Ghana has a open computer papa and as a laptop papa na where use the abura periodic computers and accessories in the location and your appoint or Kumasi Buokrum Estate a life number ya a good screen and change 0247030108 and I say 0597942133 periodic computers and accessories. Are about a woman is a low budget, high budget, or quality laptop na we use it. Mommy and Ryan's and Konkoti and some course.
To this fight against corruption, I am not happy with this delay tactics and this plea bargaining thing that people want to just say. At least if you're going to grant the plea bargaining, whatever plea bargain, there should be the person must have some time in prison as well. And a reduced sentence, if you are supposed to ordinarily would have been given maybe 10 years, it can serve like 6 or 5 years in prison in addition to the money you pay. That should be the way forward. We can't be tolerating things like just go and pay maybe 60-40 or maybe 70-30. No. We cannot pay now full amount, and I want to repeat what I said last week, pay full amount, pay punitive interest, which is higher than the prevailing market interest rate, then serve some reduced sentence as well. That is where when people are saying...
As far as you are concerned, if whatever the agreement is reached, if it does not conform in this manner, you don't think the court and the state for that matter should accept it? Then
what would be the results in our fight against corruption?
But in the end, we need money.
No, you need money. You see, it's because you need money.
Sometimes court cases, the lawyers will tell you it's like you are rolling a dice. You can't be too sure.
You see, that's where I have a problem with this country.
Because sometimes on pure technicality, you may have a good case, but it ends up going out of the window. So if there is the opportunity for someone to say that, well, for some reason, I think we should have a discussion.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you're going to have discussion relative to plea bargain, I'm saying that plea bargain, the person stealing or looting should know that this is what the law says about plea bargain. That when I'm caught and I want to go in for plea bargain, I don't want to go into prison, I want to go for plea bargain, this is what is in for me. It shouldn't be that now, if they go and discuss, Attorney General says, okay, pay 50% and go scot-free. What kind of fight is this against corruption that we are fighting? So I'm a bit, I'm a bit disturbed in the way we've allowed things to happen in this country. Either we take that law out or properly structure it so that it will help us to fight corruption. I don't want to. And on the issue of some, and that is why we have to be very careful in the way we handle it. Listen to the MPP report, the argument they make that Dr. Kwame Dufour was given that opportunity. So now it's like they have reference points. They can easily make reference to Dr. Kwame Dufour's issue and demand more. But I've told you, some time ago, I said when that law was passed in 2022, I told you last time that they knew they were looting this country. And so they needed escape routes. And that is why we shouldn't allow that thing to happen. That you can loot and come back and say, okay, what I looted is here. If you can take it and leave me, then I'll be okay. It's not going to augur well for the development of this country. If you keep that in our books without making it punitive enough, without making it tight enough, I don't think, as I said last week, I don't think it should be the Attorney General to sit down with the accused person to discuss and to agree on what to pay and what not to pay. And I want to double down on what I said last week, that it should be stated black and white in our books. And that will be deterrent enough for people who want to steal and be pushing for plea bargain. So I really don't know what to say about this issue again. I think if we are waiting to see what will come out of this negotiation or discussion between Attorney General and the lawyers of Wontumi, but it's not something that we should encourage in this country. I don't think we should encourage in this. If you're going to do it, let's make it punitive enough. Because you see, corruption is so expensive. I don't know. This morning, you see, the second topic we are going to discuss is related to corruption. It's so expensive that if you want to solve it, we don't have to be treating it with kid gloves. We should be very harsh on it when you are handling the issue of corruption, especially elite corruption in this country. You can't have a situation where the principle of equality before the law is thrown, outside through the window when it comes to the ordinary Ghanaian. There's no equality before the law. If you compare if you compare how people get 10 years, sometimes 8 years, 6 years for stealing plantain, goat, and maybe a mobile phone, and so far, I mean, look at the cases, an amount of money involved. Plea bargain, or they will find a strategy to delay the cases in court. And it doesn't augur well. It doesn't show a good picture. And so I want the court. That's why I saluted the judge. That the judge that is sitting on the Saman Boy issue, I saluted him because we need his kind. We need more of his kind in this country. I mean, criminal cases of that nature should not go beyond 1 year. 6 months, we are done with it, or 1 year, we are done with it. But they always find a way to delay the cases and always find, so that then by the time 6 years, 7 years, then the case would have been watered down. And so we won't get the kind of result you want to get. I believe the route we need to go is to have a special court to deal with some of these cases so that within 1 year, 6 months, we are done with you, go. Well, if you are free, go. If you are not free, go and serve your sentence. Or if you are going to pay, then the plea bargain thing is well structured. Deterrent enough. Countries are fighting corruption. Look at Ethiopia, the way they are fighting corruption. I've been saying it here. They have even passed a law that goes back 10 years. They said the law should be proactive, right? But they have passed a retroactive law that goes back 10 years. And when the question was raised about the retroactive nature of the law, the court said corruption is a special canker. And so when we are dealing with, we need special law to deal with it. We can't use our laws to fight corruption successfully. I'm telling you. And it's quite disturbing, especially when it involves politicians. And strangely, they are the ones who pass the law also. So I really think we need to be very serious about our approach, to this fight against corruption. I am not happy with this delay tactics and this plea bargaining thing that people want to just say. At least if you're going to grant the plea bargaining, whatever plea bargain, there should be the person must serve some time in prison as well. And a reduced sentence, if you are supposed to ordinarily would have been given maybe 10 years, it can serve like 6 or 5 years in prison in addition to the money you pay. That should be the way forward. We can't be tolerating things like just go and pay maybe 60-40 or maybe 70-30. No. We cannot pay now full amount, and I want to repeat what I said last week, pay full amount, pay punitive interest, which is higher than the prevailing market interest rate, then serve some reduced sentence as well. That is where when people are saying...
As far as you are concerned, if whatever the agreement is reached, if it does not conform in this manner, you don't think the court and the state for that matter should accept it?
Then what will be the results in our fight against corruption?
I mean, but in the end, we need money.
No, you need money. You see, it's because you need money.
Sometimes court cases, the lawyers will tell you it's like you are rolling a dice. You can't be too sure.
You see, that's where I have a problem with this country.
Because sometimes on pure technicality, you may have a good case, but it ends up going out of the window. So if there is the opportunity for someone to say that, well, for some reason, I think we should have a discussion.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you're going to have discussion relative to plea bargain, I'm saying that plea bargain, the person stealing or looting should know that this is what the law says about plea bargain. That when I'm caught and I want to go in for plea bargain, I don't want to go into prison, I want to go for plea bargain, this is what is in for me. It shouldn't be that now, if they go and discuss, Attorney General says, okay, pay 50% and go scot-free. What kind of fight is this against corruption that we are fighting? So I'm a bit, I'm a bit disturbed in the way we've allowed things to happen in this country. Either we take that law out or properly structure it so that it will help us to fight corruption. I don't want to. And on the issue of some one, I mean, I can't speak for the judge. The judge knows what he's doing, but I don't think the delayed tactics should be entertained. See, we should move forward as a nation. Let's clear things and move forward as a nation. In this country, if there's truly there's supremacy of the law, there's equality before the law, let the law work. The same way a goat stealer goes to jail, let the politician also go to jail. They are not better human beings than the ordinary Ghanaian who sometimes they're even accused wrongly. Sometimes they've not done the thing this because they don't have lawyers. They go and serve they go to prison, serve years in prison. But these ones, we know they've stolen, but because they can get lawyers, and they use their political party lawyers. It's a whole clique. It's a cabal.
Party lawyers.
It's a cabal. You see, they know what they are doing. You see, you still come to court.
They are some of them are top of their profession.
Oh, my brother. Why you see?
If you have a situation,
why is it that always they get it's the political party lawyers who go and defend them?
But what do you mean by political party lawyers?
Atachia and Apia could be these politicians. They are all politicians.
Yes,
they are all politicians.
Just like how doctors are politicians, engineers.
Oh, my brother. You see, no, let's not run away. You see, let's say things as they are. If you don't stop some of these things, then we shouldn't expect development as a country. Because think about what corruption takes away every year, amount of money that is stolen from our national coffers. Vis-a-vis what could have been done with that kind of money. We are talking about teachers, we are talking about doctors, we are talking about... And the same politician will complain that teachers are not being paid, doctors are not being paid. And they know some of their members came to office just to loot. They know, but even when they are caught, they will go and defend them in court. And even when the court wants to fast-track issue, they will have a problem with court for fast-tracking the issue. Can you imagine? The court wants to fast-track issues so that you can move forward. They will have a problem. They will want to use delayed tactics. Certain people, allegedly corrupt people, and it's not good for this country. I mean, I don't really.
Okay.
I don't really know what to say.
Let me come to Kofi now. And I mean, Kofi, last week there's a question I asked when Kwesi Kwarteng was here last week. Same question to you first. I was asking him about, as a party, the NPP, what do you make of what is playing out in the Wontumi matter within the context of the fact that I remember concerns have been raised about whether the NPP administration, there were corrupt activities that took place. The NPP, we even heard President Akufo-Addo say that, well, whatever role he played, be ready to account for it. Now, we've heard you say that oral is witch hunting, it's a witch hunting that is taking place. Now, one of your own says that, well, I'm being prosecuted, let's have a discussion, let's try resolve it. How do you put all of that together?
Okay, a very good morning to you and to my senior colleagues here. lawyer Amaliba, and then Ebo, and then to yourself as well. But Plea, you report from the courts, is that not so?
Yes, I used to.
In fact, yeah, I used to, because I remember listening to you a lot from the courts. So I was expecting that you will hold Ebo a bit more accountable, in the sense that his commentary presupposes that Wontumi is a thief. And I think that's worrying. This is a very big platform. And then lawyer Amaliba is here. Lawyer, correct me if I'm wrong. Someone going into a plea bargain does not necessarily mean the person has admitted.
In fact, we discussed that even before he came. We actually discussed
exactly.
that. Exactly.
In fact, people go into plea bargain when they even think they will not be fairly treated by the court. There are various reasons why people go into plea bargaining. So it is very important, Ebo, that we use this platform to educate Ghanaians.
Say what you want to say.
No, it's not.
I'll respond.
No, you can respond. But the point is, I will also not allow you to misinform the Ghanaians. The fact remains that plea bargaining does not necessarily mean the person is guilty. It's a mechanism. And in fact, the argument is that when you go to the US, the citadel of democracy, plea bargaining is one of the tools they use. These are facts. Now, if I were Wontumi, I'll go for plea bargaining as well. Do you know his shoes, the shoes that he wears, have been confiscated? Do you know his clothes? Atari Awoshekra, the government have confiscated them. How would you feel if the government says that you are quote unquote corrupt, you've caused financial loss or whatever, and they go to the extent that they take away your clothes, your dignity? Is that how you want?
How is that? They took his shoe away.
I'm telling you.
How?
I am telling you.
Who did that?
Go. What do you mean by who? I don't. No, Amal, I'm not going to answer to you. I'm not going to answer to you.
Let's do this. I think we should allow him.
Let me talk.
Him to flow. At any point,
his cars.
Let's make notes.
His cars, 17 cars have been seized. It was in your studio here, where a government spokesperson said that even his momo. If I'm lying, telling me I was sitting here and the person was sitting here, that even his momo.
Those ones are understandable. But when you see
please, lawyer, please. I am telling you, do you think I'll come and sit on a big platform and fib?
Council, just hold on. Just hold on. Let him go. Yeah, Kofi go.
Frozen.
Look,
but
a government comes into. I'm telling you, I didn't, lawyer. I didn't just come and sit here today. I have done my engagement. I don't provide evidence to you. I've spoken to those I have to speak to. And I'm making this comment with all the courage I can muster, because I am reliably informed. Why? The person went to, was it Yoko that he went to, was kept there for some time to the detriment of his health. Didn't we all see? The point I am making is that if I were Wontumi, I would equally go for a plea bargaining, because it is clear that he's not being prosecuted, he's being persecuted.
I mean, but the question that comes up is that why is he not going for a plea bargain in respect of the other matters then?
But this is the case. Look, I mean, are you going to tell Wontumi how to go about his legal cases?
The rationalization that we are offering.
The question is, we are discussing a particular case.
Yeah, I'm coming. The rationalization you are offering, that because of what has happened to him.
And I'm also telling you that Wontumi reserves the right to go about his cases individually as possible. You cannot use the same strategy for every legal case. Okay. You know this, Plea. Even procedural matters, how you go out, is different for every case. So you cannot expect Wontumi to do the same for every case. So that's a non-starter. Let's not even go there.
I mean, to the extent that the point being made is that is how he's being treated. Because
irrespective of the denominator being the same, he still has the right to prosecute his agenda differently based on what is going to give him the optimal results. So it doesn't change anything. Now, Wontumi takes a loan from a bank, a government institution for that matter, to go into farming. Okay? The bank participates in that process In fact, when banks and institutions that give loan, before they give loan, they have a whole actuarial section that determines and assesses the risk of the person who's coming to borrow the money. To the extent that even the farms that he did, the bank appointed a farm manager to actually do the farming, and then another farm manager to report on the performance of the farm and report back to the bank on a monthly basis. So how is it that all of a sudden a government comes into power, and of all the loans that Exim banks gave, Wontumi is the only person? In any case, my brother, if an individual goes into a transaction with a bank, whether a private bank or a public bank, and the bank feels that it has been cheated, or the bank feels that I have defaulted on my loan, whose responsibility is it to go after the money or to take me to court? I'm asking you, Blake. Help me. Let's help Ghanaians. Whose responsibility is it? Is it the bank itself, or is it another state institution? Do you know the bank has a legal department? So why hasn't Exim Bank in itself taken Wontumi to court to say that, Wontumi, we think you have defaulted on your loan. We are taking you to court to take our money. What about all the other people who borrowed money from Exim Bank? Are we to say that every single one of them had no issues except for Wontumi? In any case, was it Wontumi who took the loan from the bank, or was it a company called Wontumi Farms? And Blake, you know that in this country.
Okay, abusua we ne ensema ekoso our political highway so Buckman and I ten nka say or this are ensem no etudwa or chese the chairman Wontumi or no intentional inti eni kwan say ye de ne bone che na me and as civilians no omo a omo wi afon body any ade no ye jele omo 15 years and other stuff. So politicians no omo nso enchen amanfo bebre e wo Ghana ase ye bedam ase samoje pene kokoti za ensem we edemai.